Alrighty, traders. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome to the showdown. If you were expecting Cameron here in the session today, sorry to disappoint you. It is only me. So Cameron's not going to be in today. He actually asked me to go ahead and host the session today. This is normally a session that Cameron hosts for the Traders Network Club, and he brings me in as a guest on the show, and I'm glad to be here once again. This time I am hosting. So with that being said, traders, we're going to go ahead and get started. We've got a lot to talk about. We just had some Canadian data coming out at 8:30 this morning, and we're going to go ahead and take a look and see how the market reacted accordingly. So with that being said, traders, I'll see you right after this. Alrighty, traders. Well, welcome to the showdown show. This is gonna be a little different. That's why we didn't run the actual showdown introduction. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look and see what's going on with the market. We did have some news coming out this morning, and the news that came out this morning was the Canadian data. Now it is jobs. As you can see right here, we have employment change and unemployment rate, and as you can see as well, we also had some higher numbers. Woohoo! Yes to the higher numbers. Why? Because we're holding some Canadian crosses that really need to see some power to the people in this morning's data. So with that being said, traders, we're going to go ahead and take a look and see exactly how the market has moved with regards to that news. Now, I'm going to be real honest with you. We didn't get a huge pump this morning. All right, the news came out, we saw a little strength or weakness. In fact, it went all ways. It went both ways. We had the Aussie CAD position in as well, and we actually got the Aussie CAD paying out, and we were long Aussie CAD, which means that we expected weakness out of the CAD, strength out of the Aussie dollar, and we got that. We actually got the move this morning that paid a little extra on that Pacific setup. So we got some payout on the Aussie CAD. Now, traders, we're going to go ahead and continue to monitor this and take a look and see exactly what is going on with the market this morning and whether or not we have opportunities to go ahead and trade. Yes, if this is the first time that you're in this session, well, I'll get some good news. We're going to be looking for trading opportunities this morning, and we're going to be talking about a little other stuff as we go through the morning. So welcome, everyone. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Glad to have everyone here. I like the way William has gone ahead and posted here. He says, get the popcorn and soda as a true fight will be had today. Well, listen here. There's not going to be a fight. You can only fight if there's two of you. Cameron is chickened out today. Now, I'm just kidding. He had some other commitments he had to get to. All right. Now, man, look, William's really violent. He said, who gets the black eye? I mean, William, this is just trading, my friend. All right, you're getting way ahead of yourself on this. Now, I'm only kidding. Having fun, right? All right, so let's go ahead and see what's going on with the market. So, the data that came out this morning here out in for Canada did create a little. Let's in fact go to a 5-minute time frame. We just want to see the reaction in the market. So this is the initial reaction on the dollar Canadian. This wasn't the same that we saw on the Aussie CAD. In fact, the Aussie CAD showed strength against the Canadian dollar. Look at the reaction here. We can see that the Aussie CAD rallied up and now it's come back down again. So both Aussie and Canadian dollar and US dollar actually had a little bit of a move this morning. Because if you take a look at the euro US dollar right here, we also had a reaction in the market at the same time. Look at that, just about 8:30 right here. We had a rally in the US dollar, or at least the euro against the US dollar. And so that meant that the dollar actually weakened with that news report, which is weird because if you look at the data, I'm only seeing Canadian news out here, unless it's something really low, but just Canadian news came out. And with that being positive, this actually caused a little weakness out of the dollar itself, which is good for us. But you see right here, let's go back to the US dollar CAD position here. Let's get here. So US dollar CAD position right here. If you look at the US dollar CAD, look at that downside move right here. All right. Clearly stronger Canadian dollar, but also weak US dollar. Now, the question here is, which I'm sure everyone has a sort of that question is, could this sustain? Could this hold? And could we see a further downside move? Well, that's what we're expecting. Let's go to the daily time frame. Let's go break it down on the daily. So here we go. US dollar CAD right here. If you actually take a look right here, we did actually have the market come back and test this level right about there. It traded slightly above, but this level is becoming significant, right? It's becoming important because as you notice right here, that's pretty much where we're at right now at 134.40. Call it 134.40. So at 134.40, if we can see price breaking back down, and by the way, we expect it to happen because if you look over here, we do have these swings that are pushing lower and lower and lower. And so here is our last swing price action move. And so we're looking for price to actually drop all the way back down here to retest this low right about there, right? So we're looking for price to drop back down here. This is on the daily. So remember, traders, when we're looking at the daily time frame, this is long term. But sometimes it's good to know where the market's going and how the market's moving, because knowing this information gives us a better understanding, calms our nerves, and makes us understand a little bit more about what's going on in the market, right? And so really this is what we're looking for. We're looking for that price action to just simply go ahead and create this sort of reaction in the market that we're comfortable seeing. And therefore, when we see that, we can have better understanding about what's going on so that we can don't have to get too nervous about the sort of the bounces that we're seeing, right? And so let's make sure, traders, that we understand it so that we don't get too emotionally attached to our positions. Now, I'd like to see this daily candle actually come back to, even if it comes back to retest this level right here, the low down here at 33.62. So I'd like to see the daily candle push a little bit lower just to give us that little bit of oomph that we need in order to drive a little lower down. Now, also, traders, if you take a look over here, we do have the markets inside a little bit of consolidation. But notice over here, all right, if you didn't notice before, I'm going to go ahead and point it out. Notice over here that we have this area right there becoming a support level. All right. So again, that area there is just slightly lower. In fact, it is at around about, let's see if we can get that number, at 34.19. Call it 34.20. So 34.20 is also going to be a sort of a medium-term support level that we need to break below. If we do break below, we should be good on that. So with that being said, let's take a look at an opportunity this morning. And I actually forgot about opening up one of my trading platforms here. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and put a trade in here on the US dollar CAD. Now, if you follow my trade ideas based on our flagship product here at Traders Network Club, you would probably note that we are already short on US dollar CAD. So my decision here this morning may not be an influence of where we at or what we're doing, but also looking to re-enter on an opportunity that's currently here right now. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look over here and let's see here. US dollar. Yeah, let's see here. US dollar CAD. Is that the one? Yeah. All right. Good. So US dollar CAD right here. Let me go ahead and add in a position. Now, what do I want to do here in US dollar CAD? Do I want to buy? Do I want to sell? Well, I'm going to move this down to a 30-minute time frame. And I'm going to go ahead and just throw out something here that someone should know, right? Firstly, number one, we had a bearish open. It actually, no, I lie. We actually had a bullish open, but price moved down on the Dow this morning. We down 65 points on the day. Now, even though we're down on the Dow, does that mean that we're in a risk-off trading environment? The answer to that is not necessarily. We could be seeing a risk on. This is actually good because this shows that we have a correction move and that price is going to move back up again. So we could say say that the market is going to, well, we can't say fill the gap, because remember, it did open up higher above the previous and it did go past it. So what we're looking for here is just a little recovery from the bearish move today. And that, my friends, could mean that the US dollar CAD could go bearish. Now, I want to double check this on my charts, okay? Everything has to be verified and checked. And if I look over here, just the fact that we're right there at this area of support right there, and the market is testing that area right there, I'm going to short US dollar CAD, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and put my trade in right here. And by the way, if you're following our trade ideas inside the Telegram channel, or if you're not, you may want to go ahead and check out the description down below. There is a Telegram channel you can go ahead and connect to that gives us all the trades that we have gone ahead and placed. So we want to make sure that we have total transparency about what we do. There you can see we have the US dollar CAD. We entered on a short, and it entered at 34.40. All right, 34.40 is our entry price. All right, now let's move on to another currency pair. Let's go take a look at the Euro US dollar. Now, traders, to be honest with you, if you look at this right here, it looks like a mess. All right, a total mess right here. But what I do see here is that I can pull out is that the market, and that is horrible. That doesn't really help me here. But the market's trying to break through some levels of support and resistance. So I'm going to look for where it's at. Okay, so here is a good level of support right here, coming from this previous resistance if price was trading above, right? So there's resistance here, resistance coming off there. The market went up, down, up, down. This means that traders were looking for price to go up higher. Now, where could price go up higher? I'm going to go ahead and put some fibs in, because Fibonacci helps us to be able to identify where that target is going to be. And so I look here and I see, okay, we can move up a little higher to around about 1.0808. All right, so we can see price moving up closer to that area right about there. That means that traders, from where we're trading right now, that gives me around about 27 pips of opportunity. All right, now in that case, then that means I have to get in long on this real quick right here. So which means I'm going to buy right now Euro US dollar. All right, I got in. You see the price at 781. All right, so 781 we got in. By the way, check out the Telegram channel. All of this has been verified, exactly what I'm doing. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at another trade. The Canadian Swiss. Now, the Canadian Swiss has come back to retest this. Now, I want to be honest with you. We're long on the Canadian Swiss, all right? We're looking for Canadian Swiss to go all the way up to, what's the price tag? We're looking at 68.30. All right, if I go to the daily time frame, maybe you can see it better here on the daily. In fact, let me go ahead and do some housekeeping here on this chart just to clean up a little bit. All right, so we're looking for price to come back to retest this area right about here. All right, there it is there, 68.27, give or take a few. So what's important for us is that price trade back above this area right about there, which has happened. All right, and why is this important? In fact, let me draw this up a little closer up there. So why is this important? Well, it's important because if price stays above here, then that means that the market is probably going to be going inside this range again. So which means that as price goes above, we're looking for price to go back up here and eventually break above there and chase after higher targets. So I understand that what goes up must come down and that there could be corrections on this. But because I'm currently right now banking on a very bullish move in the Canadian dollar, especially after the good news out this morning, then I would be expecting that the market should be at least trying to target this area right about here. And that area is at around about 65.76. Now, that is not, that is still far away from where we're trading right now, which gives us the opportunity to go further north. So with that being said, traders, I'm long on the CAD Swiss. So I've just gone into the long, and I entered at 65.05. All right, so I'm long on CAD Swiss, looking for price to continue to move north. Now, traders, let's go take a look at some other pairs right here. Okay, we got CAD's the Aussie CAD right here. I'm going to do some housekeeping on here as well. All right. So Aussie CAD. What's going on with the Aussie CAD right here? Well, traders, again, looking at the daily time frame, just getting a good feel of what's going on here. I do notice that the market found support here. All right, let's go ahead and mark that off. It found good support right about there. Then it rallied up. We had this big move. So we got this big move going up right here. And so we're expecting price to continue to rally up towards this area. Now, if it does, that would mean that the Aussie would strengthen against the Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar would weaken. Okay, and we can have that. So let's just take a quick look at oil prices. Okay, what am I expecting on oil prices right here? Well, we are expecting oil prices to push up a little higher. I believe we had some swings in play here. And the target is going to be above this area right here. Let's go mark it off. So we're looking for price to trade inside this region right here. So between, let's call it $79 and $82 a barrel. That's where we're expecting price to target. So we're going to expect some stronger US oil. Stronger US oil does mean stronger Canadian dollar as well. And so that means that the Aussie Canadian dollar should actually be heading south. So let's go to the Aussie CAD right here. Now, I know that this is two currencies, right? We've got the Aussie and we've got the Canadian dollar. And so the Aussie could absolutely be doing something different. And so as I look at this right here, I notice that we've got a couple of things happening here. And let me go ahead and mark it off right here. I noticed that we had an inside structure, 1, 2, and then we got 3 up here, 4, and then 5 up here at the top. And so why is this important? Because traders, the fourth wave, when price takes out this fourth wave right here, we tend to see some pullback, all right? And so there is a possibility that we could see price moving back up north. And so let's go down to a lower time frame. Let's see how much more momentum we have with that right now. I think we're going to be running out of momentum here. All right, so you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to look at this inside structure here. 1, 2, 3. We've got an inside 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what, traders? I'm going to short Aussie right here. Okay? I'm going to short Aussie, the Aussie CAD. I'm going to bank on Canadian dollar getting stronger. So I'm going to short Aussie CAD right here. And that, with that being said, let me jump into the New Zealand CAD. Let's take a quick look at the New Zealand CAD right here. I'm going to go to the daily time frame first, get a good look. Oh, we got to sell. We got to sell New Zealand CAD right here at this resistance. We absolutely got to sell. Traders, with the market coming back here, I get it. I get it that we could see price going up to retest this area right about there. And that's around about 8,300. All right. So which means that we've got probably another 40 pips that the market could push back up north before pushing back down south again. And so I'm okay shorting this right here, even if we pick up maybe 1 or 2 or more positions here. But I'm good with shorting this position as well. So I'm going to go to the New Zealand CAD right here. I'm going to bank on the New Zealand CAD weakening because of oil price, because of the data coming out with the Canadian dollar. So we're shorting the New Zealand CAD, and we just shorted the market at 82.58. All right, so 82.58 is where we're at. We're short. Okay, so let's do a quick sum up right now where we're at. We've gone short on the Aussie CAD. We've shorted the New Zealand CAD. We've also gone short on the US dollar CAD. We went long on the CAD Swiss, and we've gone long on the Euro US dollar. We're pretty much at break even on most of those pairs at the moment right now. We'll see how this thing plays out over the course of the weekend and as we go into next week's trading. Now, I want to remind traders that any time that we re-enter into this position, that will be sent to the Telegram channel. So if we enter into a new position, you'll get that sort of trade idea coming through on the Telegram channel, so you can follow along the way if that's what you want to go ahead and do. Okay, now we want to go ahead and talk about a couple of things here. Firstly, before I talk about the Dow DAX trade ideas, let's go ahead and show appreciation to our sponsors of this video today, and that is, of course, ACAP. All right, we want to go ahead and just appreciate ACAP for sponsoring this video. By the way, traders, if you're looking for a broker, make sure you check out ACAP. We have inside we've got inside the website. If you go to the website and you go to any one of our products right here, you'll see our preferred broker links right here. You can go ahead and click on that, open up a link, and you'll be able to get access to that. All right. Now, traders, just another quick one here with regards to our memberships. Just make sure you check out our memberships. We do have, of course, new trade ideas that have been posted. A lot of the new trade ideas that have been posted are only really going to be available on Monday to get active on Monday. So we're going to need the weekend to go ahead and complete certain things, but we certainly have a whole bunch of new things that are being developed and now in motion at the moment right now. And that includes, as what I'm going to talk about today, and that is the Dow DAX trade ideas. All right, so quickly right here, I want to go ahead and explain something here. Very importantly, if you go to our website, you go ahead and click onto the trading result. I want to explain the Dow DAX at the moment right now. So going to the Dow and looking at the Dow, I want you to understand that the Dow and the DAX trade ideas are based off pips, right? We're chasing after a certain amount of pips. Now, so this is the thing that you have to understand. When you look at the results, our master account, all right, the master account that is being traded at the moment right now is based off different lot sizes. In fact, if you take a look over here and you look at the trade history, you'll see here that there's different lot sizes. Okay, you maybe can't pick it up over here. Let's see if I can add lot sizes onto this. Nope, I cannot. All right. So if you actually go to it, maybe we'll go into more detail in the actual class sessions as well. But when you look at the different trades, all our trades are broken down into different lot sizes based on the accounts, based on the margin required from each currency pair. Now, if you want to get a little bit more of aggressive results, if you're looking for more results and you're not really necessarily worried about the pips, but you want to get the results to equal what the pips are doing, because what you don't want is you don't want to have 3,000 pips generated over the last month, but only make 1% or 2% return, right? Now, you could do two things with that. You can still keep the lot sizes different on each currency pair based on the margin requirement, but increase the sort of the entry level. So as an example, if you had entered, let's say, 1 microlot on the on, let's say, the pound US dollar, right? If you entered 1 microlot, what you could do is you can increase your lot sizes, but make sure that it's equally increased across the board. And that way you increase the risk, but you also increase the profit. You could do that. Or you could simply go ahead and have one lot size standard across the board, which means you can go ahead and trade with one lot size across the board. And that means, traders, that if you're chasing after 100 pips per day, then that means 100 pips across the board would be exactly what your profit levels would be at. All right. So if that didn't make sense to you, let me just say this. By breaking down the lot size on each currency pair, what that does, it takes the high margin pairs and it reduces the lot size, where the low margin pairs increase the lot size. And so on the day, if the market moves really well for the pairs that have the higher margin, then that means that we'll close out with 100 pips, because we always close out with 100 pips. We'll close out with 100 pips, but we will not close out with higher profits, because the higher margin pairs that have the lowest lot sizes is what's producing the results. All right. Hopefully that's starting to make sense a little bit now. So what we got to do here is we've got to make sure that, hey, what is your end goal right here? Because the one thing we have to make absolute certain about is that our margin levels are good. Now, if you go ahead and sign up with one of our brokers, specifically SCM, You got 500 to 1 leverage. And if you've got 500 to 1 leverage, then you don't have to worry about mitigating the actual risk based on the lot size, all right? Reducing lot sizes based on margin requirement for each currency pair because you have a lot of margin to play with. You still have to monitor your risk. Absolutely, still have to monitor your risk, but it doesn't become that critical, okay? But if you're trading with, let's say, a broker here in the US and you got 50 to 1 leverage, then you might have to go ahead and be more careful about the types of lot sizes that you use per currency pair based on their margin requirement. All right. Now, if you're wondering, oh man, I don't know how to work that all out, not a problem. All right. Traders Network Clubs or the staff members will assist you in that type of stuff to understand that and making sure that before you get all signed up and get ready for trading, that you understand the risk and understand exactly what it is that you're going to be getting yourself into. All right. Traders, now there was a request this morning about the Aussie New Zealand dollar. I'm going to go ahead and close out with the Aussie New Zealand dollar. Give someone a quick update on the Aussie New Zealand dollar. Not a pair that we focus in on this session, but for the heck of it, let's go ahead and talk about it. All right. So Aussie New Zealand dollar right here. One thing we have to see here that's important is this level right here. All right, that's becoming a very key level of support. The market's come back to test it. So what's happened is the market has dropped down south and holding some positions, and I believe we are holding some positions right here. Holding some buy positions right now would mean that price would want to go back up and test resistance. Now, if you look over here, we have resistance all the way up at the top. So there's a lot of buying that's going to take place right here at this support level right there. And what's important, traders, is this daily candle that it closes out above here. If it closes out above here, if you're not already in the money and close out of this trade, then by Sunday, Monday, as things start developing, you will see rallies back up to these lows right here. And therefore, traders, if I was going to trade the Aussie New Zealand dollar right now, it would be a long on the Aussie New Zealand dollar. All right, looking for price to go ahead and retest resistance. All right, that's it, traders. That's it from me. Good luck with your trading, and thank you for coming in. I appreciate everyone being here, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. And for those of you that are interested in any of the products that are listed in the Traders Network Club, please make sure you reach out to the support team. And for those that don't know what that is, let me go ahead and see if I can go ahead and post the details right here. There we go. So let me go ahead and post. There we go. So reach out to support at TradersNetworkClub.com if you have any questions about the product, if you need any help getting set up, getting started. And so with that being said, traders, this is the FxBigDog signing off. Have a great weekend, my friends.